I'm starting my class with just 2 people. Lord have mercy. So how's our week? How did everything go?
Nice.
Alright, we gave a very simple assignment yesterday. Please, you can since we are just sitting here now. Wait, where is Chicken there? I saw no. You can go ahead and present, please.
This is my
Third function. Function.
hmm?
Huh?
Sir.
Sir? I said function. Function. Okay, this will still work. Run this code. Let me see.
This is the output function.
See, okay, this is nice. It's okay. But see, it does not create that array. That array sort of thing I was talking about.
It's in array.
So anyone have person presenting?
I stop sharing now.
Sharing now. Sir?
Can I stop sharing?
Stop sharing. Yes, you can. You're very good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Beautiful effect. I love this. So who else will be sharing their screen on what they're facing? Eze, Ilodigwe, present your own assignment
Yes,
now.
boss.
Present your own. Let me see.
All right, sir. Okay. I'm sharing screen
Sharing
now.
screen.
Uh, okay. I don't know if you can see.
You can see your screen.
Okay. I actually I did it in 2 ways. Uh, I don't know why I'm having this guy here.
Which guy?
Yes, but I had this asterisk here. But I think the code still works. So make the thing there. Maybe it's from the browser console or something. I don't know. Okay, so
What are you
I
trying
created
to
a
achieve?
function.
Let output equals to empty string.
Yes, the output is an empty string.
Try using double quotation. Let's.
Okay. I think it's out.
Okay.
I didn't know what they do. All right. So I created a function and named it numbers, and then I declared a variable output and assigned an empty string to it. So my intention is to store the numbers inside the output. So I created a for loop, and then I said let I be 1, and I be less than or equal to 100, and I be incremented by 1. So inside my loop, sorry?
Run it, let us see.
Okay, thank you. So I don't know why hold on. Okay, if I run now, is hold on. I don't know. Let me try to minimize this screen so that okay. So if you run it, you have something like this. So that if it's a multiple of 3, its output fees. This is 93, for example, which is a multiple of 3. If it's a multiple of 5, like 95, it's output 4s. And then if it's a multiple of
What you said is
5 and
boss.
3,
His boss. Okay. This is beautiful. Yes, yes. So, does any other person have something that would like to present to us? Like this, okay, the faith have disappeared again. So what I'm going to do is just run through that code together, see what no, no. So you guys performed beautifully well. Um, so so what will be working? Let me go to my process. One of the things I would have really loved to see is, let's say, that we are working on we are working on this an array. I was expecting something like an array, a function and an array. Remember when we did arrays, right? We did arrays, and what did we do about arrays? Arrays would just be, you know, adding them. I think it would have looked cooler like that. From my explanation, that was more like what is still wrong, so it's fine. So just like Chikizi was saying, first of all, let us try, because just having it log it into our console is kind of like a little easier, unlike we wanting to literally make it list in an array form where it keeps adding into one. Remember, we said, remember we spoke about how to add items to an array. What is that array method used to add items? Each of us remembers.
Push.
Push,
Include.
right? So using
No,
push
push.
that it keeps adding. The explanation yesterday, that literally what it's about. Say something like, choose one, please, for us. It just keeps pushing it like that. So one of the first thing we want to do, right, is we create an empty array, right? Create an empty array. Call that function, say function, please boss. Let's give a count here. Let's say count is equals to one. Equals uh, kind of like write our
Did you ask a question?
you said what?
Okay, no, not sorry, not you. I thought you asked a question. Never mind.
No, no. Let's see. Well, if it's going to be count, right? If count, remember, and I really appreciate that you guys really got to the same count. It means your module is correct now. Things like you know what to do. So we said if a number is divisible by 3. So what we're simply saying that if any number is divided by 3 and it returns 0, that means that is true. So if the division, if any that number is divided by 3 and it returns 0, and we use the triple equals to still use double, it will work, but there may be situations where it may be a string and it's not supposed to work and you end up throwing error in the code. So we want to avoid the triple equals, meaning, you know, same in value, which is what we want, right? Statutes or boy, welcome, sir. It's been a while. What do we do here now? Push into the array, right? Output dot push. Output dot push what? Fees, right? So let's see what happens. Let's call our function fees bonds. Okay, nothing happened. Nothing happened. Console.log
You're consoling outside the function.
Let's
Maybe.
console on. We didn't console on it. Let's console on instance. Let's see what happens. Things with our conditional statement, because for now, what our face bus is, our face bus is an empty array. See, length 0, array 0. So let's just keep talking. No, we want to also say else if count divided by if count modulo 5 is equals to 0, output dot print.
push,
I really need this our final else statement, because without it, output dot push, nothing will be pushed. So we want to push count, right? We want to push count so that nothing is going, no number is there yet. My spelling of push. No number is there yet. So it's going to start off by pushing 1. Then count plus plus. It's going to push in. It will check if 2 is divisible by 3 or 5. If it's not, it will push 2. So let's rerun this and check how it goes. What is going on?
Check where you're calling the that console.log. Should it be outside the function?
See, it shouldn't. Let's be so. It shouldn't. That's it should be inside. Thank you so much for that. Even our count plus plus, it shouldn't be outside. Let's run this again. Okay, you see that it has added to the array, right? We have seen an array of 1, right? Are you seeing that? You see that? So it's incrementing the array. Cheese. You see 1, 2, 3. So as we keep calling the function, you see 1, 2, fees 4. Now we're going to see boss, right? And it keeps going like that. The array keeps incrementing like so, right? So now, if we want to add the final one, which is else, if, just like we rightly done, else if to check for multiple, we want to use our logical, we have to use our logical operators now. Something like, as far as count modulo 3 is equals to 0, and it has to check for both values. Count modulo 5 is equals to count modulo 5 equals to 0.
0.
Thank you. What should we do? Output dot push
This pause.
is okay. Let's try this again. One, two, three. What we're looking at is 15, right?
Yes.
Yes. And 15 is displaying fees, not fees balls. Why is that?
Hold on. Why did you have them in parentheses? Like
Sorry?
why the bracket? Why did you have the two of them in separate brackets? Is it necessary?
The, it is useful, right? It is useful. It just, all of these brackets are actually very important. If possible, sir, you can still wrap a grain inside another bracket like this, so that the code will know that these things here are together, right? Just in case you want to use multiple logical operators, you have to have a way to control them. Now, okay, this is what you have to do this separately, do this separately, do this separately, then bring it together. So that's why bracket is important. You can take for example now, um, if if you take our calculator now, if you say we can see my calculator, right?
Yes.
If we say 3 plus 2 times 5, it's showing 25, right? 3 plus 2 times 5. Let's run it here. 3 plus 2 times 5. Did you see that? In our console, what did it show?
13,
13.
On calculator, what did it show?
25.
So all these things boils down to, remember when you did your board maths back there, right? What your computer literally knows. You say board maths off first, right? So it does multiplication before addition. So that is what the computer will do. But your calculator will just be using the numbers immediately as you're adding them. As you say 3 plus 2, it already given you the answer of that, then times 5, right? So that is literally, so what this code has simply done is this 3 plus bracket 3 times 5. This is what it literally has done. Okay. You see now, this is okay. That's not what it did. This is literally something different, right? Now, okay, I did a mistake here. It was 2, not 3. You see that? But if I do the reverse of this now, if I use a bracket, 3 plus 2, 3 plus 2, then multiply it by 5. See, that is where we are now getting our 25, which the calculator is. So that's just literally the importance of, brackets. Brackets helps you. So by that bracket now, what I may have done is telling me that, hey, guy, just in case, you never can tell. You just have to code with safety at heart. You never can tell this, how maybe one way or the other, it is going to use modulo here, use it with the equals to, because everything you imagine you're calling like multiple logical operators at the same time. it can misinterpret, you understand? Not even misinterpret, it will interpret it with the syntax it has. Something like I've shown you an example now, board mass, which may not be what you expected it to do. But you may be working on a very large code and you may not have the time to now go and be checking for this. So it's very important and safe. You literally use brackets. So by this bracket, you've seen that what I'm telling you that, hey, for count modulo 3, store the value. Check for count modulo 5, store the value. After it, because these things are in different brackets, right? So all of them, it will now be, they will now be stored in their this thing. And then they are now inside, after that one has been solved, it will now move to the next bracket again. And does this thing, is it 0 here and here? You understand why the bracket is? So while I was talking, I have just realized why the conditional statement was showing me fees. That is simply because the same thing we are literally talking about, right? Um, when we set our conditional, if you start from the first, right? If you start from the first. So the first, our focus in the first here is fees. I don't know because we use the statement if. Did you see that? If. Anytime we use if is literally the focus. It's just like you say, if it is afternoon, eat rice and beans. Else, drink custard. So you're going to literally, then you now come and you now still write, you now write under else if it is afternoon and it is 4 p.m. So all those else simply is a condition, or else if it simply is a condition that would kick in if the main condition is not met. So if is the main condition which you're looking at, right? So if that condition is not met, is not fulfilled, that is when the program is going to start looking into the else. So the else are more like the secondary conditions that has to be met. So for us to bypass that, we have to make our fees boss the primary condition. So here now should be else if count fees. I'm being disconnected. Let me turn on my mobile hotspot. Yes, sir. And then my phone never charge. I dey use my phone on hotspot. If my phone off here. Right. Sorry guys, my internet went out, so I disconnected it. Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, sir.
So I have to close this. we've literally set the primary to be fizz buzz, right? Fizz buzz. Now, what is simply going to happen is that if you check for fizz buzz first, if because you know that of course fizz buzz is not going to be easily met, right? Which is something you guys actually did. So well done, guys. Huh? It's not that even copy from somewhere. Okay, let me run this code and let's try that again. Just one. So that is that. So you can do literally a lot of JavaScript, right? So like I said earlier, there is also a little bit of you know, uh, so please you can go everywhere, go on the net, like when your people share the screen, some send something collator, this and that. He was already building a couple stuff for himself. Which is very, very nice. Well done. You can literally build your own calculator, right? You can build your own calculator on JavaScript. Now that you know what many of these guys take for instance, you know what division is. So you can just set an HTML, CSS, put in numbers, and we've come so far. We stated that JavaScript is literally a you know helps our web application interact, right? Without JavaScript, many of our web applications. What's going on with internet? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello guys. Guys, can you hear me? Can you hear me now, guys? Hello? You still can't hear me? Alright, maybe I may have to. Can you hear me? Okay, we can hear me now, right? Yes, sir. All right, great, great, great. All right, great, 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 great. All right, so what was I talking about now? For yesterday. So I was mentioning that we spoke about how very important JavaScript is. JavaScript functions to, you know, write interactive codes and programs, right? And I just try to have because it's very vital we know JavaScript before we even start thinking about React, React Native, which are all frameworks. There are countless frameworks for JavaScript. Some people will say Vue.js, React.js, TypeScript, this, that, all of them. Many of them, majority of them are all JavaScript frameworks. Especially when they end in JS, just know that okay, it's JavaScript framework. There's actually an advanced part of JavaScript which is called JavaScript, right? And what did they say here? Is it DOM is an acronym for Document Object Model and is a programming interface for web documents. It presents the page so that programs can change the document structure, style, and content. The DOM represents the document as nodes and objects. That way, programming can interact with the page. So that is why let's see how we can literally do a lot. Okay? So ah, we can see my screen, right? We can see my screen, right?
Yes.
So I want us to, talk about documents, right? There are literally different kinds of documents. The- Guys, list for me, what kind of documents you know? List out the document types that you know.
Document types.
Yes.
Uh,
So just on the
hold on 1 minute.
No, 1 minute. Daniel, Chooks, you don't know document types of documents. Jesus.
Types of document.
All this your office word, all these things now. Why are you guys just falling my hands? Is it something you go and go? So
Here's
so so
here's
you see me, in my command prompt here, trying to
From the okay. From the front page.
I'm trying to I'm accessing my command line interface, which is something we literally be doing a lot, right?
Yes. So
That's why
this is
that's Chikeze, you can mute your mic. Oh.
when you click on it,
So that's why you see many a times we like somebody was saying from actually as a developer, especially if you're in the backend, by the time you're handling servers and how to learn to use more of your command line interface than the graphical the GUIs, right? And one beautiful thing about Linux or the command line interface is that it gives you more power and control, right? Okay, take for instance now, let me ask a simple question, guys. Can you just go to your doc now? Can you go to your Word document and save an empty file? Let's say I come to Notepad now. I come to Notepad. Can I save this file? Okay, I can. Wow, I can. Wow, wow, wow. Well, why it was able to even work that way is simply because Notepad in itself is actually an offspring of the command line, right? But normally, if you open your Office font, if you open all those stuffs, you would not be able to save. I didn't want to open Word because I don't really have Word here. Or rather, they want me to say buy premium plan or something, which I'm not ready for at the moment. If wanted me to accept, I'm not accepting. But get the drift of what I'm trying to say. I was just trying to experiment one too. But in command line, right? You can create files. You can literally create files without any content in them. So I'm just going to create a folder. I'm just going to create a folder on my desktop right now. As you can see, I'm on my desktop, right? I'll create a folder on my desktop and we're going to call it So I'll just create a folder in my desktop. So to create a folder in desktop is mkdir directory mk meaning make a directory. So let's call it. I think we did this before now, right? We have a folder in our desktop called DSCP. Yes, we do. We do have one. So press CD. So I have a folder in my desktop called DSCP out there. So you can create a folder in your desktop. Now we are inside there. There's nothing inside there. So let's create a subfolder. Let's just, I don't know, let's just say DOM. And we've made a subfolder called DOM. So we can enter it. There's nothing in here. So you can create empty files. You can create empty files by the keyword third. You can create empty files, say my file.txt is a syntax on Linux. So let me find out the syntax for PowerShell. Huh?
I think it's Node.
No.
I think Node, then the file name, dot the extension. I don't know.
I'm trying to create an empty file. Beautiful how technology has grown. This guys was here, ChatGPT just came. Now we have Windows Pilot. Talking. That one we did not do it like just try what it's this process is long. No, um, text. So we just made a new file. So if we list, you see that we have my file.txt there. We can make as many files as we want, right? It's this part. This part we have this part too. So you can have multiple extensions. Windows of X. You Windows of X, PowerPoint. What is the extension for PowerPoint? Power, is it PPT? Which other document type do you know? Excel sheet. Excel is what? What is the extension for Excel? See XXL.
Appreciate my methods of teaching, but
This is the extension for Excel. Excel is XLS, Excel sheet. Yeah. So the main point we're trying to make here is that your web application is actually a file. So I'm going through all those things. It's actually a file. So every file, just like even our JavaScript that we're writing, it is a file. But how is our computer able to distinguish between okay, this one is this one is it's just by their extension. These their ending words here. What they end here. This one now, we know that okay, this is Excel. We know that this is PowerPoint. So for HTML now, we want to create a web document, a document that will be, run, that will be run on the web, right? So HTML, right? HTML, and we have our file. When we click on it, we store the files that we made. The file dot this document, this PowerPoint, this is a text file, this is an Excel file, and of course, others now, even when it comes to pictures, right? Pictures end with JPG, .png. You see how I'm just here making files that don't exist. And that is the power. That is what you get through, the command line. This is a power that it's cannot just into the graphical user interface. When I say graphic user interface, I mean by it's of the computers where you are seeing, where you are clicking. If I want to go to my file manager, I come to my file explorer, I come to desktop. And remember, we have this here. This is where I am. So it's giving you that you're seeing what you're doing, like physical with graphics. But command line is just simply, writing lines of code and all that. So if I want to open this folder now, I double click. And I have that subfolder. Remember the subfolder I made? So this is all my files here. Now, look at the stuff. Files of the size of these files 0 by 0 by 0, right? Because they are literally empty. Now, if I list the files I have my command line, this is what I'm just going to see. Right? So I have to know by myself that okay, this is a PowerPoint file, this is an Excel file, this is a text document, this is a web document. So web documents, HTML, web document. And HTML stands for hypertext markup language. Okay, that's literally when you see thank God that many of us here actually at least you have one or two ideas in web development. So when you see those who are doing that they are doing, you simply save their files with HTML, right? So you see that if I come to my now you see this is showing as a picture file. It's giving me that picture icon. Why is it giving that picture icon? It's simply because of the extension. Remember the extension meaning type, file type, right? The file type here says the file type here says uh file type here says JPG. So it's a picture. This one, the file type here says Excel. It's giving me here Microsoft Excel. This one says PowerPoint. Microsoft PowerPoint. This one is Word. Microsoft Word document. So now the trick here is if I open this class, nothing is going to be displayed. You see? You can't open this guy because the format is currently the format is actually supported, but there's nothing, there's no content. If I open my file, it's going to open, but there's nothing there. There's nothing here. The same thing with all of them. So even for my index.html, right, is a web document. So if I open it, it's going to open in my browser, but there's nothing will be displayed because there is nothing there. There is an empty whatever. So that is simply what it's trying to lay the foundation what we mean by file. Yes, yes. Let me power is application card. Right. That looks like that. So, no, I was here. So, you see now, if I even want to delete all these files now, it's easy to delete. It's easy to delete all the files here. So on Linux, what we normally do is we use the RAM. It, you can actually configure CMD to run like Linux, right? This in which comes to come to a setting that think some modification, some modification, some modification, then they need to run like Linux. It's not one. They say we should do remove item. So let's try that. As usual, we're going to do because I'm already in the subfolder. Let me see. Jehovah. Hmm. I'm not confusing you guys. Let's remove the whole direction done. So you see, nothing is here again. If I come back to here, you're no longer going to see it now, all through my command line. But no problem, it's fine. We can actually still create that sub directory. Call it said we got that and we can get into it. Right? Then let's make some files. Say let's so what I simply did is that I opened that folder, the blog folder in my visual studio, right? I opened that in my visual studio. Any any file I'm creating here would simply be here. So let's create a new file. Let's create a new file. Let's call it index.html. So you see that here. Now we have our index.html. Some of you have been moving to use VS Code. All this. We are starting with VS Code. And now, how much we've been doing before now, we've been working with pure JavaScript. Remember, we said JavaScript runs on our browser, right? And we've been literally using JavaScript directly on our browsers. That's what we've been doing. That's why, if you notice, because we've been using it directly on our browsers, we didn't have to necessarily give that extension, right? We didn't have to come here and do this .js, give it the extension of .js to show that this is a JavaScript file. We were literally just. So this is pure JavaScript, right? Now, there are also multiple ways we can incorporate JavaScript, just like um, I I don't want to be talking more, so I said that it's many of us should usually have ideas of what we're perform. I don't want to assume. That's why I'm just trying to lay this little foundation, give that little introduction, right? So why um um this is HTML, like I said, it's a web file. Daniel, do you know all these things? Do you know all these things so that I can just move ahead? Chike,
Yes, you can move
Chike,
ahead. You can move.
so no need that. All right. So that's that. So we all know about the template for HTML, right? The header, all that. Here in yes, which is cool. You can literally just give the exclamation mark, right? If you just put the exclamation mark, you're going to have boiler templates, HTML boiler templates, all that. And we all know that if we want to, can call this, can rename the type of documents. web doc. Then where do we put our, if we want to beautify, let's say, okay, in our body here now, we can simply come here. This is literally a header tag. I call it header one, two. Let's open, let me save this file. That's the place is not saved. Let's open desktop, right? So this is our index file. When we open that, you see that it has opened in our web browser, and we can see all the files that we made inside here. And we know that if we want to beautify our HTML file, what script do we use for HTML beautification, guys?
You
Yes, sir.
look at what I've been with every other person and you
Yes, sir.
anticipate
Thank you so much. Style.
dressing from there. It's not
You use
small
a
thing.
link tag.
Do you understand?
You link it with a
I
link
know I
tag.
said that
You link it with a link tag.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. This is not a once you all these things are ready to be signed in your in your VS Code. That if I do link CSS, it's going to bring the CSS boiler. So this is how we link CSS, and you can literally also just put CSS directly. You can just write your CSS inside the head of it, right? Or you can create a separate file called CSS, style.css, link rel style sheet href style.css, and create a new file here, call it style.css, and it is there. So we can just say change background color again. We want to do the whole document, right? Background color. Let's give it a different color. Let's rerun our distance one. See, maybe we will not say see that that's changed all our background stuff. And now there is also how to call JavaScript in your web application. That as your web app, as you're building everything, you're putting this and that, making it beautiful and all that, you need to make it functional. You should carry out certain functions, right? What JavaScript do we use to do that? We use JavaScript to achieve that. And how we simply do that, just like we call our CSS in the head, we literally have to the first if you actually call your JavaScript too at the head, it's going to work fine. But the ideal thing, the good practice, to always do the right thing to always do is to call our JavaScript like at the ending of our code, right? The body, the body, the body here. And have we, let me see if there's,
I use the script tag instead
yeah,
of
the
link.
script tag. Yes, thank you. Trying to see if there is a, so, um, we use the script tag to call our JavaScript. And what we normally do is script type equals to, there has to be a shortcut.
Continue, just call in the source attribute, and then
Yes, yes.
you
Well, I know, I
proceed.
know. So the type is a text, JavaScript text, right? So something like this. Let's test this if it will work. Let's use all those JavaScript to be writing all this while. Let's say, welcome to my website. Let's save this. Let's see what happens. Reload this website. You see that welcome to my website before the web page loads. So that's literally this is still, you see, JavaScript on its own cannot just move just like that, right? So literally what things we've been doing, you have to literally, you know, save with the .html, right? You have to save with the .html so that when you're running, like, so that, because it's going to have to run on your browser, right? So yeah, um, so yes, that's that for that. But it is when maybe we start writing for our back end, because it's back end that serves front end. So in that situation, in that scenario, something is going to happen is that you may have to utilize, you're going to have to run the file. It's not because it's going to be from your console, it's going to be from your command line interface. Let's say if you're using, let's say you're using one of this thing for JavaScript backend is Node. So all you just have to do is node server.js, and you now go to your browser and impute the server that you and impute the IP address of that server. If the host of that server, where did you host the server? Is it on port 3000 or 5000? Once you input it in your browser, then the content will be loaded. So that's that for that. So this is literally what we'll be doing from this end. So our our front end skill is going to come in handy here. You're going to be doing lots of HTML, lots of CSS, building applications and using our JavaScript to make it, do certain things that we want it to do and all that. Right? So yeah. And back to what we were trying to state, we were trying to mention about DOM, the document object model. So what DOM, okay, let's look at what DOM simply helps us. DOM is just so cool in the sense that I can literally have like a button in that website that once I click in this website that I have done here now, right? This is my index.html website here. This here. That once I click on this header, or maybe I click on I put a button under here. That once I click on that button, it is going to change the content of header 1 and header 2. It's going to change it. Let's say it's going to say, it's just going to change the content. So that's what I mean by DOM, document object document object model or DOM manipulation. So you're manipulating that document live from your web here, right? So let's just go through what it has. First, it says, the document object model is the data representation of the objects comprise the structure and content of the document of the line. This guy will introduce look at how the DOM represents an HTML document in memory and how to use APIs to create web content. What is it done? The document object model is a programming interface for web documents. What are web documents, guys? What are web documents, guys? I'm waiting for us. So let me be sure that are we even following this class or I'm just here talking to myself since?
Sorry, sir. What was the question, sir?
So I've been here talking to myself.
No, sir. I had to end the other meeting so I can concentrate here.
No, it's not me that will answer you. It's your peers. I'm waiting for them to still answer me.
Guys, please, what was the
What
question?
are web documents?
What are web documents?
So, from what we've said, our web documents is our HTML. It's our HTML, our web. So when it says document object model is a programming interface for web documents, it's simply telling you normal, this is for an HTML document. Although when we say web document, web document didn't just come just like that. In as much as it's HTML that is familiar there are countless. There used to be just HTML. There used to be XML. They were countless and all that stuff, right? So the document object model is a programming where it represents the page so that programs can change the document structure, style, and content. The DOM represents documents as nodes and a web page is a document. You see that what's a web page? A web page is a document that can either displayed in the browser window or as the HTML source. That's a web page. Any document that can be displayed in our browser is what? Any
It's a
document
web
that can
document.
Thank you very much. In most cases, it's the same document, but the document object model allowed it to be manipulated. So what we are simply saying is the DOM allows these web documents to be manipulated as an object-oriented presentation. So are you saying the OOP you are asking of before now can be modified with a
That
scripting
will be
language?
trouble.
Yeah, that's actually where JavaScript is, right?
All right.
So now let's try one. See, when we speak about variables, right? Set const now is to set something that would not be changed again. Let us think, guys. This code that I'm writing here, if I want to mute your mic, please. If
Sorry,
I
sorry.
want to write a DOM, right? I want a script that is going to change my header one. They're going to change my the content of my header one, my header tag to something else. What do you think we can do? Let us think. Thank God that all of us here are front end guys. So
You
I'm
want to
waiting
alter
for
the content of the header tag?
yes.
Okay. You target the you. Less for me. I'll give the header tag an ID and then use document dot get element by ID to target it and then alter it.
Who else? Daniel, choose. What kind of JavaScript are we implementing here? What kind of JavaScript are we implementing here?
Next question. Can you repeat the question?
What kind of JavaScript are we incorporating in this file now? What kind of CSS did we incorporate? And what kind of JavaScript are we?
I don't understand the question.
CSS here. Now, I believe many of us are already into this. So normally there are usually like three kinds of ways to call all these things in here. One of them is we have inline CSS. Well, it's not three.
Choose.
It's three, right? We have inline CSS. Yes.
We have
We
inline.
have inline CSS, we have external CSS, and we have internal CSS.
Internal
So what
CSS,
kind
yes.
what kind of CSS are we using here?
Internal, no? No,
No.
external CSS, since you are linking an external file.
Yes.
Yes.
So we made a separate file, like you can see here, style.js. Right? And reference to our file here. So any CSS code we want to put into this, what we simply have to do is come here, and just be doing it. So what kind of JavaScript are we incorporating here?
Internal
And
JS.
Okay, so why do you say so?
Why I said it's internal?
Yes.
Because we're writing the JavaScript code inside the HTML file or document.
Thank you so much. So, say imagine that we want to incorporate JavaScript external. It's a simple one. Just just like our just like our we can just do something else. Maybe make the file make the file not by country. So we have standard JavaScript now. So you see, you can actually link multiple JavaScript, multiple CSS in the same file. It's going to work very fine. So this is our internal JavaScript. This is still our external JavaScript. So One simple thing I want us to kind of like try out a little something where we change the content of our header tag, right? And somebody have said one. He said we give our header tag an ID and use select select document by ID and change the content of that ID specified. So I'm asking you guys now, what other ways do you think we can achieve this?
Can use the class instead of ID, use the class or use the element
Or use the element with
type as you get the
so Chooks or boy, I want to hear you talk. Oh. I don't think I've heard your voices.
Maybe you can still use .inner HTML. Some of that one I'm not too savvy. I prefer external JavaScript.
What you said, you don't understand. Can you break down too much grammar from what you said?
It is well. Please let our other brothers say something. We'll proceed. I won't get on the cards.
It's fine. So let us do it. Let us do it and share our screen. Let's do it and share our screen. Let's just it's already past 11. Wow. Okay. You guys just try this out. Try this out. This is good. And once anybody is done, just signify me. Let's be sure that yes. Because by Monday we'll start looking at React. Okay. Let's see how fast it can run. Alright guys, so just do your own. Daniel, Chikezie, Chooks, get it done and share your screen shortly. In the next 3 to 5 minutes, please, guys.
My PC don't die.
my PC is about to go.
You will use Replit. Use Replit.
Hey, I know. Oh my god. Okay. What is the make we do, Seth? Hello? Hello?
I don't even enjoy the fact that you and your classmate will ask questions. Most so all of you in this call, you cannot answer your classmates.
Ataya. Wait, you want us to use
Alright,
DOM
let
to
me just
manipulate
say it right.
the head?
Let me just say it
Okay,
right.
thank you.
Let me do it. So just like this, the simple way we can go about this is just can just like come to our JS. You can use you can use document by ID. There are many ways you can see it. You can say document.query select. You see, we have query selector. Query selector H1. So it should call H1 and we want to use the inner HTML. Inner HTML meaning like, how do I explain this now?
Like whatever is inside the H1
Yeah,
tag.
yes. You want to manipulate it. Whatever is inside that H1 tag, and of course, not text, right? So we want to manipulate it and make it, let's say, let's call it, thank you for visiting my web my web documents. Then we can literally do the same thing. Document dot let's do that for H2, right? H2 dot inner HTML, and let's say goodbye. Let's save this. Let's save this and let's run this again. Let's see what happens. You see that? See that? Let's resume. What did it do? It has changed. It has changed it, right? It has changed it, right?
Yes,
sir.
yes.
Are you guys in this class at all? Have you just joined class
We
and you are
did.
watching?
We
Yes,
go
sir.
mute. We go mute now. When you ask questions, we'll go on mute. It takes time.
Okay, now no wahala. All right, so I think we should call it a day, right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir. See how all of them shout yes, sir. The class don't
Eh,
tire
so
of this. No wahala.
no be time.
So
We dey look forward to react.
you are going to do an assignment on dog. I'm not going to tell you what to do. You want to tell you to do anything on dog, right? Do a simple, a simple web document that uses JavaScript to manipulate whatever is being displayed. Try and make sure you do something really beautiful and nice. Take your time, beautify everything. And thank God many of you here are front-end guy. If you already have something you've done before, you can pull it up. That's literally what we'll start on Monday and start hitting React and all. Right? So finally, let me also just quickly, take a look at 10 hands before calling things that are not yet. So I have
Ah,
tickets.
all these people did this mobile app development. Sure.
See now, there are 27 persons registered.
Ah, wow.
Wow. And now quite a React to come here.
No. We will finish up. It is well.
Troops, these troops, which one is playing? This one, I mean, troops of mine. Wait, troops, you missed 3 classes. All right, guys, thank you so much for your time. Bradley, so just go on your, you can go on MDN Docs, you can go on Victory Schools, run through Query Selector. You can even, this long break, don't go and use it and be sleeping. You can go on YouTube, start watching videos on React. You can watch videos on DOM manipulation and do something unique. This is our last JavaScript. I know we've not done in lots. It's something, okay? So thank you so much, guys, and see you guys on Monday. Take care. Bye.
All right, sir.